And welcome everybody to Undefined Media and the Undefined Review channel. We appreciate everybody tuning in. My name is Chad, and hey, look, we're going to get this thing kicked off. We're reviewing Book of Boba Fett. We're probably going to talk about the entire series. I know we're talking about episode 7. The finale was today. It dropped today. I have a lot of thoughts on that, but it's probably going to lead into talking about the entire series. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it, come back, leave your comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people agreeing and a lot disagreeing because Star Wars means a lot of things to a lot of people. I know growing up as a huge Star Wars fan when the original trilogy came out, I know what Star Wars meant to me as far as that. Man, I know what storytelling means to me and how what kind of storytelling I enjoy. So we're going to talk about that. And look, if you have a different opinion, I'm all here for it. I'm good because, like I said, it means a lot of things to a lot of different people. You'll see things, you'll enjoy things that I didn't, you'll hate things that I enjoyed. That's just how it goes. That's kind of what I love about it. That's what I love about people being different personalities, not us all being the same. I like that differences because you point out things that you liked, you didn't like. We agree, we disagree, but it's Star Wars, it's movies, it's whatever we're reviewing here. It's the same thing with anything we review. So as you can tell, if you're new to the channel, and you probably are by just looking at the subscriber count down there, we're a new channel trying to grow it. So give us a like and subscribe, a follow, hit that notification bell so when we post new videos, you'll be alerted to it. But we're going to dive right into this thing. Once again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, cut it off, go back and watch it, then come back and we'll talk about it. But there's a lot happening in this episode. And I got to say, after the way the series started, when it first came out, we expected it to be one thing. I felt like when the trailer dropped, I thought we're going to have an action-packed. We're going to finally get to see the Boba Fett that everybody has hyped up over the last 4 decades, right? I mean, because let's be honest. Boba Fett had all of 2 minutes of screen time, and his legend was built off of that. Hadn't had a whole lot to do other than those few minutes of screen time. Now, I know he was in the Clone Wars, Rebels. We got to see little bits of Boba Fett here and there, but a lot of people's love for Boba Fett was based off the mystery and those few minutes of screen time. So what we believed we were going to get in the book of Boba Fett was going to be this badass, kick-ass, just gangster going out here getting it done. And we got a very soft version of Boba Fett. There were moments to where he showed you what the Boba Fett we thought we were getting. But I gotta say, this is a very tamed version of Boba Fett. And so, but we're gonna get into episode 7. Let's talk about it because there is a lot to talk about. And we're gonna start with look. There were some things I loved. There were a lot of good action pieces in here, but there were things I absolutely hated that made no sense. There just were. And we're going to talk about some of that. It kicks off, and when you're talking about the Book of Boba Fett, right, we see it starts off there in the cantina, the blown out husk of the cantina. And they're talking, well, this sucks. Look at where we're at. This is awful. Boba says, you know what we need to do? We'll go back to the compound. It's fortified, easily defendable. This is where we need to be. Good strategy. But then the Power Ranger kids show up. And I get it. Everybody's calling them the Power Ranger kids because that's exactly what they look like. You got clear, shiny mopeds on Tatooine, a dirty planet. If they're on Coruscant, I'm there for it. But here on Tatooine, it doesn't make any sense. And I didn't like them from the beginning, and I still don't. And then you got these kids coming in here telling, no, Boba, we need to stay here and protect the people. So Boba goes, oh, okay, we'll stay here and protect the people. I'm like, really? This dude has been a killer in the galaxy. He's hunted some of the hardest targets. This dude is a legit stud. But here these kids on mopeds, they come in here and they say, hey, yeah, I think what we need to do, we need to stay here in town, and we're just gonna set it right here in town, protect the people. Well, you're not protecting the people. You're endangering the people, as you'll see later on in the episode with all of the destruction that happens. You didn't protect the people. You endangered them. People were endangered everywhere. Well, it was horrible. It was horrible. Horrible strategy. You could have lured them out to the compound. Because you knew the Pikes were coming for you, right? The Pikes had to come get you. They knew they had to take you out. You actually have the advantage here. Even though you're outnumbered, at this point, you certainly don't believe that the other groups are going to attack you, even though you should. You have to have that thought in the back of your head, which, again, makes going to the compound a smart strategy. You can't be surrounded that way. And when you are surrounded, you can see them coming at the compound. You've got everything you need at the compound to hold off an attack because the Pikes have to come for you. If they want their spice trade to continue, they're going to have to take you out. That's just sound strategy. Hasn't happened. But no, Boba listens to these kids and goes, yeah, you know what? Okay. It's stupid, but we'll stay here. We'll do that. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, the stupidity goes on and on and on when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm like, whatever. All right, I just want to see some action. I just want to see good stuff. They made the stupid tactical mistake. I think it's out of character for Boba Fett, but they do it. Then you have the X-Wing coming in. And we think, oh, wow, Luke is coming here. He's bringing Grogu, which we thought was going to happen. There was no surprise Grogu was coming back. You don't have the starship, the M1 Naboo starfighter, gutted out where astromech droid goes. That was given away the moment that happened. We knew this was going to be the thing. In Episode 5, we knew this was going to be the thing. This is what was going to happen. No surprise here that this happened. The biggest surprise was, though, you see the X-Wing flying in, it lands. There's no Luke Skywalker. He sent Grogu, this young little Yoda, Jedi wannabe, or could be, with R2 flying through the galaxy to go to Tatooine, this criminal hub, by themselves. Luke doesn't even come. It's like, you didn't want to be a Jedi, get out of here. See you later, you're gone. Makes no sense. Luke, again, this is so how out of character Disney has done Luke Skywalker, and I don't get it. Maybe, look, they might have done that for this series, saying, look, we already spent a big budget just doing all the Luke space, the deep fake, and all the stuff we had to do for the last 2 episodes. And if that's the case, okay. But storytelling-wise, it makes 0 sense that Luke would not bring Grogu himself to Tatooine. Growing up on this planet, knowing what a crime hub Tatooine is, Luke would know better. Luke would do that. So that was the other issue I had with the treatment of how some of the storytelling goes. I just didn't understand it. And it's been that way a lot with this series. Just what we got in this series, it's been a lot. And I've loved most of the episodes. But as much as I loved 5 and 6, I really hated the fact that they went off and just totally deviated from Boba Fett. There's a lot of rumors out there about why this happened, that the show just wasn't good, and they had to try to save it by adding the other 2 episodes. I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, but I know it felt off. Love the last 2 episodes, but they were more Mandalorian. By now, everybody's tired of hearing Mandalorian 2.5, but that's basically what this was. This should not have been Mandalorian 2.5. When you announce a show, Book of Boba Fett, it should be about that. And I don't feel that's what we got. But Cad Bane shows up. And it's like, okay. All right, here comes Cad Bane. Cad Bane's coming in. This is about to get serious. It's about to get ugly. And it's about to get ugly right now. It's about to get ugly. They're about to throw down right now. Cad Bane is here. Here we go. It's about to get tough. We're about to do it. So they talk. Cad Bane throws the little bomb in there that, hey, you know what? It was the Pikes, actually, who killed your Tusken buddies. Wasn't the biker gang. It was the Pikes. Trying to bait Boba out, which is a good move. Of course, Fennec Shand has to talk him down. Hey, don't do this right now. He's baiting you into this. Let's don't do it. So Boba tells him peace talks are off or whatever. And Cad knows he's got him. So he leaves. And again, they know they're about to be outnumbered. He informs them that the Freetown people aren't coming because of what he did to Cobb Vanth. Help's not coming. They're on their own. So you know what we're going to do? We're still going to be here. Still going to do things here. And of course, they get sabotaged, right? So they get jumped by all the guys that weren't going to get involved. They're all involved now. You had Black Chrysanthemum off by himself for whatever reason. Makes no sense. He's a Wookiee, yes. But still, you got lots of people with weapons that can kill him. And I don't get why these dudes just all attacked him with hand weapons, right? But still, this is a big old Wookiee who was a gladiator, mind you, with a weapon. And especially with those knucks he has, oh my God. And still gets handled by all these dudes. Actually, right after this image you see on the screen right now, they hold him down on the ground. You don't see how he gets out of it. He does get out of it, but you don't see it. It's like, well, you're telling me this big Wookiee right here, who's supposed to be an insanely badass Wookiee, by the way, he gets handled by these dudes, by the little lizard people. He just gets handled by them. That's it. I hated it. I hated that. This dude should have went off and just started destroying people. If they wanted to shoot him with the net, I get it. Stun him, okay. But just clubbing on top of him, this dude would have just wrecked them and should have wrecked them all, and didn't. He didn't wreck them all. And I was disappointed in that. I gotta say, I was disappointed. That was one of my most disappointing parts of this whole show today. But this was cool. This was cool because when we had Din and Boba flying through the air in their jetpacks, just wrecking the Pikes. They were wrecking the Pikes. I mean, look at that. They're up there. Now they've got the high ground, and they're just destroying Pikes left and right. Then they make another huge tactical mistake. They land. Put themselves in their own little kill box. It was also they could have cool shots. And look, there were some cool shots within it when they were on the ground down there. There were. And I get for the sake of the show, you want cool things to happen, want some cool visuals. And man, this show had a lot of great visuals in it. It did. They had so many cool visuals in this show. There were a lot of them, no doubt. It was really well done in a lot of instances on here with some of the visuals. I was tickled by it. I thought it was great. It was great. But again, tactically, that made no sense because if you look, see if I can pull it back up. If you look behind them, you see what's behind them up there? Rooftops. You know what that does? Gives you height. Gives you height advantage. You could have been up, out of the way. You've got jetpacks on. You fly up. Then you just start picking them off. Because it makes their job that much harder. But you're on the ground. You put yourselves on the ground, and they're just coming in waves. But, hey, look, townspeople came in. The free townspeople came in, helped you out, saved you, because y'all were getting destroyed. But here's the bad thing. Here's what I don't like. I mean, look, Mando and Boba are getting just crushed. They're getting just crushed with laser fire everywhere. But they always just hit the armor. Like, they have so many body parts exposed. None of those parts ever got hit. Armor saves them because it's Beskar. It's a great cop-out. I like it. But there were so many parts, especially on Boba. He's not as covered as Din is. Mando is covered a lot more than Boba is. But those are not the spots they ever hit. So you lose some of that. I mean, they should have gotten nicked. They should have gotten banged up right there. Even if you didn't want to give them just dire wounds, give them some on the flesh where we can see that, hey, your body's exposed. Wow, where they're hitting on your plates, great. It saves you. But the rest of you, not so much. So, and I get some of that's a little nitpicky. But I think if you're telling a story and you want us to feel the danger and how palpable it is, you've got to show that. You've got to show that. Then these dudes finally come out. These super mega droidicars. And I don't know what their technical name is in this show, but that's basically what they are. These are steroided out droidicars. And they're awesome. They are awesome. I love these things. And having to fight them, oh man, that was tough. But a big fight does break out. And it was Boba who helped save the day, riding the Rancor. I'll show that in a minute, but I wanted to talk about a point because this is important. You see this picture on the screen right now? You see this? You see what this is? So the droidicars were chasing Black Chrysanthemum the free townspeople, the moped kids, chasing them down this alleyway. You see this long road right here, going right through the city. Now there are lots of alleyways to the left and right, places you can hide, run down, but they run straight down the road. They run straight down the road. They just run straight down it, and it's slow. And this thing does move slow, by the way. Moving thing seems to keep up with them. They're hauling butt running down through there, but this slow droid keeps up. It's like Jason, right, Freddy? You're running from them in the woods. You're running from these dudes in the woods, and what do they do? And then all of a sudden, you fall down, and they're right there in front of you. It's like they warp speed around you, and that's kind of what happened. And I have such a problem with that. It's crazy to me. I hate logic like that when you're obviously running away faster than the thing is moving. Obviously, I mean you're watching it, and these dudes just run in a straight line. They just run in a straight line. It's like, you know what we should do? Let's all just split up. The thing can't chase us all. We have a better chance if we split up. But that's not what happened. It's not what happens. In this big old city, you could run different places to do this. And everybody split up and make it harder on this machine rather than him trying to take you out all at one time. So again, the strategy part of this had me just losing my mind. Oh, I was losing my mind. I'm like, come on, guys. We got to do better. Right? We got to do better. Because I can't, every time I see this image, it bugs me. It bugs me. I'm not going to lie. Look at all those people just running straight. And you see right down at the end, there's places to go left and right. There's about 3 or 4 different places where they can do this. None of them do it. None of them do it. It's wackadoo. It's wackadoo. But this was cool. So Boba on the ride in the Rancor, we knew we were going to get it. They teased it earlier. That didn't disappoint because the Rancor tore up the droid cars, man. That was great. That was great stuff. This was awesome. And seeing Boba riding the Rancor and just seeing what a Rancor can do, oh, this was great. One of my favorite things about this episode was this part with the Rancor. I mean, it was really cool. Really cool. Because I know it sounds like I'm just beating this episode down. And again, there's a lot of things I loved about this episode. The action sequences were really good, even though some of them didn't make any sense. And there was a few of them that didn't make sense. I laid those out for you. Now, if you liked them anyway, that's fine. And I love the action. I love the episode. But when you look at it from a storytelling viewpoint and a sensical viewpoint, it just doesn't hold up in a lot of areas. But this was fun. This was fun. Him on that Rancor was fun. And then you have, of course, Cad Bane comes out. Cad Bane comes out doing his thing, being all Cad Bane-y, doing Cad Bane things. Shoots fire in the face of the Rancor. The Rancor rears up, throws Boba off, goes running away. So you got Boba, you got Cad. It's a face-off, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be wild. But here's what I loved about it. And I know people are going to hate on it. I know they're going to hate on it because it didn't last longer. It wasn't this big, huge thing. But this is an old school, old West gunfight. These things didn't last long. They weren't running all around in circles and doing crazy things. This was, you faced each other off, you drew, whoever got the shot off won. That's what you saw here. Cad Bane outdrew Boba, which he knew he was going to do. Boba knew he was going to do it. The only thing, of course, that saves Boba is his armor. He tries to get back up. Cad shoots him again. He's down. He rips Boba's helmet off. He's got him point blank range. Informs Boba he's going to teach him his last lesson because for a lot of people who don't know, Cad Bane was a mentor to Boba Fett. Cad Bane was a mentor to Boba Fett. And again, you'd have to go back to Clone Wars and some of the animated specials to see all this. But there it is. And you shouldn't have to. It would have been nice to get a couple more flashbacks telling that story, which episodes 5 and 6 could have filled you in on a lot of that. There's a lot of things that we could have gotten filled in on that we didn't. What are you going to do? But that's what happened. And so, but Boba, he looks like he's defeated. He puts a move on Cad Bane, gets the gappy stick, trips him up, and then bam, he reverses it. Cad Bane tries to shoot him with his own fire, doesn't work. Boba stabs him with a gappy stick, kills him, kills Cad Bane right there. And it didn't take long. It was a great little sequence, and it did what it should have done, and that's how it had to have been. And now whether Cad Bane is actually dead, who knows? Who knows? Because you notice his uniform was beeping. Was that a locator for a ship to come get him, pick him up? Was maybe for other employers to come pick him up? Who knows? Who knows? But I thought I liked the fight. I'm glad it didn't drag out. It didn't need to. Because I think sometimes you can drag out a fight too long. And if you're going Old West style, that's what should have happened. So Boba wins. They save the town. There's another scene of them walking through the town, him bowing to people who are bowing to him that I thought was a little bit silly and contrite. I didn't like it. It had a way happy ending. And then you have Mando speeding off into space with Grogu in the astromech seat, right? They cleared out for him. Of course, Grogu starts tapping on the window. Mando's like, not now. He finally, all right, one more time, and they blast off into space. All right. Happy ending for all, and I'm assuming that's where we pick up with Mando Season 3. Who knows what that's going to be. But again, like with a lot of the show, they just try to go for cool factors and a lot of fan service that didn't work. It was great seeing a lot of things. Like when they brought Black Chrysanthemum in, I thought this is going to be awesome. They just didn't flesh him out enough. And I think this is where we're missing episodes 5 and 6, which I honestly don't believe. And again, I could be wrong. I don't believe episodes 5 and 6 were supposed to be about Mandalorian. I think they were not working well. Things were, it looked like to me this show was up and down in a lot of ways and a lot of the decisions being made here. I think there was some back and forth, and those episodes got scrapped. And I think some of that backstory got lost. And so this is what we got. And this is what I don't like, because we could have had more Black Chrysanthemum. You could have, to me, if you were going to bring Cad Bane in, that should have been episode 1 or 2, and let him be the big bad for the Pike Syndicate for the entire season. I mean, episode 1 or 2, and then let that be the entire season. I mean, because that dude's wicked awesome. He's tough. And so then you have having the M1 Naboo M1 Starfighter again was one of those cool things they brought in to say, oh look what we did. This is so impractical. This is unpractical. This ship is. It makes no sense. Where is Boba going to store his bounties? You're going to just keep flying through space. There's no way to stretch out. Can't put your ship on autopilot and say, hey, look, you're going here. I'm about to take a nap. There's no place to do any of that stuff. You got to take a bathroom break. Oh, I got to hold it. What am I going to do here? What are we doing? And all right, so maybe the pilot seat has a thing for that. I get it. Makes sense. But not in the astromech. What about baby Grogu? He ate the worms at the beginning of the episode. When's he going to Yoda poop? Where do you do that at in the starship? As cool as it was seeing the hyped up Naboo Starfighter, he needs a bigger ship. Now, whether you want to attach this as a Starfighter accessory to a bigger ship, that'd be cool. But he needs a bigger ship. I miss his old ship. I do. The Razor Crest was awesome, and I miss his ship. And then, of course, we had the end credit scene. And it was Cobb Vanth in the back to tank. And, of course, you have the mod guy in the background about to mod him up. That'll be interesting to see what they do with him there. And that was the season. The season was over. And it left me feeling several different ways about it. I don't know about you guys, but I felt a lot of different ways about this season. Felt incomplete. It just felt all over the place. And I don't like the wussification of Boba Fett. I don't. I wanted this dude finally to prove to everyone all the myth building we've done with Boba Fett over the last 4 decades. This is the show that needed to bring that to fruition, to show this is a dude you don't mess with. And we even got a little bit of that in Mandalorian Season 2 when he came on and was wrecking those stormtroopers. And we didn't get that in this show. And I really thought it needed it. So, what do you guys think? Are you for this season? How did you feel about the season? Again, to me, it's lackluster. It just didn't do what it should have done, and I wanted to love this season. I wanted Boba Fett to be the Boba Fett we all wanted and wished for, and I just don't think we got it. To me, it felt like the sequel trilogy. There was no plan. There's no well-thought-out plan. That's not what this seemed like. And look, Jon Favreau wrote this final episode. He wrote this final episode. And Jon Favreau is a great writer. I love almost everything this dude does. But this series was not good. And Robert Rodriguez is going to get a lot of flack. I know he will for a lot of this. But you can only do with what you can only work with what they're giving you. And when things are so incohesive and incoherent, and it doesn't work, like what they were trying to do, I don't know. I think when you're telling a story, you've got to commit to a story. And they didn't commit to anything. They tamed Boba Fett, and they shouldn't have. And there were some parts where it showed you that, dude, we don't mind going dark on some of this stuff. You still could have done that. It didn't have to be over the top with it, and still made Boba Fett just be awesome. I don't know if they got scared, they talked themselves off. I don't know what happened. And we may never know what happened. I got a feeling we will eventually, but it probably won't be anytime soon. So, you know what? We have Obi-Wan to look forward to. May 25th, the Obi-Wan series starts. But things like this worry me. Now, the Obi-Wan series, I believe, is headed by Deborah Chow. I believe. So she'll be the showrunner on that series. Man, I don't know. I just know I'm disappointed in this. But I know. But here's the thing. I'm excited about Mandalorian Season 3 because those 2 episodes we got with Mando were incredible. They were so incredible and so well done. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Let us know. Do you agree? You disagree? Let us know in the comments how you felt about this show. I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys think. All right, we got Peacemaker coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to reviewing it. And then we'll see what else we're going to talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about, hopefully. Some series. What series would you like to see us cover? Because I got to tell you, I'm not really sure what to cover at the moment. All the different things going on. We'll see. Guys, appreciate you tuning in. And I will talk to you next time.